crazy story. Yale has a medical library, and it's called the Cushing Medical Library, and it's named after Dr. Cushing, who is a famous neurosurgeon. He's essentially the father of neurosurgery. And back when Dr. Cushing was a neurosurgeon, he's passed away a very, very long time ago. They would let you take brains back with you if you were the surgeon, and so he had this collection of brains and brain specimens and pathology slides and notes and all these things from all these surgeries he did, because he was trying to expand the field of neurosurgery. And one day the university he was working with, they lost one of the specimens, and he said, "That's it, I'm going to maintain my own collection." And so he did that until the day he died. And then his collection wound up at Yale. And so Yale had these jars of patient brains and of medical notes and of slides, and it's this incredible resource for the field and for making the medicine and neurosurgery safer and better for patients. And so it was this really amazing resource. But over time, it becomes less of an actively used resource. And Yale, in their wisdom, put this in a sub-basement below the medical school dorm. And the one thing that medical students are is incredibly ingenious and inventive, and they like to go places they're told not to go, especially if there's a little alcohol involved. And so at Yale, when I was a student at Yale, we found this room. No one knew about it. It was below this basement. You had to pick this lock. And one day we picked the lock and we got in there, and we were in awe because there's racks and racks of brains and pictures and specimens. And it was one of those experiences in medical school that was just this incredible sense of enormity. It made you feel so small because all these patients, all these things that this incredibly famous neurosurgeon did were all kind of concentrated in this space. And so we formed the Brain Society. And what would happen for about 6 or 7 years after I left as well, but while I was there for the 4 years, every year, once a year, we would go down and we would break into this room, and usually people had a few cocktails, and we wouldn't touch anything, but we would just sit and just be in awe. And we would drink a little bit too, because medical school, but it was this incredible experience that is like a once in a lifetime experience that is just amazing. And eventually they realized what we were doing, and they put top-notch security and deadbolts and steel around the doors. But the end of the story is they realized that they had to take care of this collection because it's a part of history. And so they went back in, they opened up this vault, again, in the sub-basement over the medical school dorm. And they moved this collection and they archived some of it, but they put it in Cushing's library. So part of his collection now is at his library. And they found this plaque that we made that we would sign every time we went in. And we would sign it with things like Steve Aneurysm Williams or, John Hypothalamus Smith. We would sign it with kind of crazy drunk names. And that was the only thing that we ever touched. And so they found this plaque and they took it. And if you go to the Yale's Medical School Library, you can see the plaque, you can see my name. It is just an amazing story from an amazing time. And that's what medical school should be about. It's about adventure, exploring, and understanding your place in medicine. Thanks, guys.